Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt. Today, talking about the June releases for Barrel King Gold members. Batch 110, the Mile Rye Club, and Batch 111, the Epsilon. 110 and 111 both fall under the Barrel King Knighted label, which means all or some of the whiskey in these bottles was finished in rare X bourbon barrels. By the way, if you haven't heard, Barrel King 27 Ascot Awards this year. Yeah, you heard that right. We entered 27 bottles to the Ascots and won 27 medals. Whole bunch of double platinums, some gold scattered in there. Boom, hells yeah. And both of my blends earned double platinums. Yeah, that makes me happy. I'm not one to brag about awards, but if I were, I'd probably kiss them. We're gonna start with batch 111, the Epsilon, because it is a bourbon blend. Then we'll finish out the tasting today with 110, the Mile Rye Club. Batch 111, the Epsilon. Epsilon is the 5th letter in the Greek alphabet. We had alpha, we had beta, we had gamma. In 2024, we had delta, and this is the Epsilon. When Jarrod feels like there's something extra special coming out of Barrel King, something new and different, and kind of like a change in direction, that's when a new Greek letter of the alphabet is presented, and that is what we have here in batch 111, which Jarrod says could possibly be his best blend ever. Last month, May, I released what I thought was my best blend ever. It was batch 108, Ohana. And then Jarrod came and kicked me in the ass and said, "Step up your game, bitch. Step up your game, bitch." That's what he said. He literally FaceTimed me and said it. "Step up your game, bitch." That's what he said. In other news, that never happened, but I imagine he's sending me sublingual messages. Subliminal messages. He sent a message with this because 111 is super special. The nose on it is absolutely ridiculous. When I received these first two bottles, I had no idea what Jarrod was even doing. I had no idea what he was up to. I didn't know what was up his sleeve, or up his ass for that matter. But no matter what was up his ass, he pulled a friggin' rabbit out of it because holy crap, this is a magical, magical blend. And when I first tasted it, I sent him a bunch of message and I was like, good grief. What is that? And that is when Jarrod broke the news that it's the shit. He's right. I'm gonna be completely honest before I get into this at all. Batch 111 is so complex and has so much going on that it's almost difficult to explain and talk about. It is so layered and so deep. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's bold, it's cherry, it's barrel char. It's a bit funky and nutty, a little bit of farminess in there. Not a lot, but a little tiny bit of farminess. It's got Tootsie Rolls and lollipops and like candied peanut butters, bubblegum, toffee. Then there's like an oak wall smeared with caramel that all those flavors are stuck to. What's in this blend is what I think some people will call like a hodgepodge of stuff, but one person's hodgepodge is another person's Van Gogh. And a 111 might actually be Jarrod's masterpiece. So you should probably Van Gogh and become a gold member while I'm thinking about it. Click on the link in the description below, become a Barrel King Gold member. You can pick up 111, you can pick up 110, which is a blend from Sidney and Dara, Dara the Average Drinker. You can also pick up my Ohana blend from last month. There are still like 100 and some of those bottles remaining. So if you become a Barrel King Gold member this month, you'll still have access to my Ohana blend from last month while supplies last. There is a video about the creation of this batch. I'll put that in the link in the description below as well. And when you hear what went into this, it's crazy. 30% 12-year high rye MGP bourbon, 27% is a blend of 10 and 12-year high rye MGP that was stag finished. 19% is 7-year wild turkey bourbon. 12% is 8-year low rye MGP bourbon finished in a WFE barrel, Willet Family Estate. 8% is an Old Weller Antique finished 8-year low rye MGP bourbon. And then a dollop, 4% of 8-year wild turkey. And you get absolutely insane insanity. Smell it. It's insane. Just smell it. 111 on a fresh palate. Let's friggin' do it. Down the hatch. Wow. What the hell? Wow. That is my first sip of whiskey for the day, and good grief. Man. That is all the things. That first sip of whiskey also let me know that I have a bit of acid reflux today, which I didn't know about until now. But the goodness of 111 overpowered the terribleness of acid reflux, which is hard to do. That is so good. That is so good. Maybe these Greek alphabet things actually make sense, because the last time I said this, I believe was Delta. I said that it was the most complex thing I've tasted out of Barrel King. I think that was the blend I said that on. But I don't think that Delta even really holds a candle to Epsilon. I think that Epsilon is like way better. 111 Epsilon is like more of a explosion, more of like a big bang, like a big bang went off in your mouth and then created a universe of flavors, an infinite amount. As you're tasting, the universe of flavors continues to grow and expand and expand. So it's an explosion and then it grows, but inside of the growing is like added complexities. This isn't necessarily super sweet. It's not necessarily super spicy. It doesn't taste like a super old bourbon. It doesn't taste like a youthful bourbon. I believe that Epsilon is what Barrel King is all about. Some people say that I have a profile when I blend, and they say that's a matte blend. This is a Jarrod blend. This is like so layered. If Epsilon were a person, you would spend hours trying to figure them out, and you'd realize how complex they were. Then you try to sleep with them, and they tell you no. And you realize you've been friend-zoned by a whiskey, and that would hurt. By the way, Epsilon comes in at 116 proof, and the second sip is still doing all the things. It's not as shocking as the first sip of whiskey for the day, but it retains that overall powerful palate. It's like you bit into a Gusher candy when Gusher's candies were good before they got shitty, like a good Gusher's candy when you were a kid and you actually bit into a Gusher and it gushed. It's like if Barrel King made a Gusher's bourbon candy and you bit into it and then it just blows up in your mouth and you're like, oh yeah, love that. It is oily, it is thick, it is remarkably good. It is really, really good. Jarrod, congratulations on blending the shit out of this. I'll put Jarrod's tasting notes in the description of this video as well. I'm quite sure that everybody who gets this bottle will have a whole slew of different tasting notes than other people, because you can go savory, you can go sweet, you can go spicy. It checks all the boxes and fills all the categories. It is a remarkably good bourbon. 111 is a monster. Now 110, under the Barrel King Knighted American whiskey label, 120.6 proof. 110 was blended by Sid at Barrel King with the help of Dara, the average drinker on YouTube. Batch 110 is 81% 5-year 95.5 MGP rye, 15% 8-year low rye MGP bourbon finished in an OWA barrel, and 4% 17-year American light whiskey. Whoa. I don't normally get banana notes on anything, but I'm getting a very distinctive, like a banana pudding note on here. It reminds me of like banana jello pudding. What in the world? The first time I put my nose in this, it was all like super rye forward. Now that this bottle's gotten some air, it seems to like have just off-gassed some of that rye note and really mellowed out into this like friggin' pudding. And I'm not necessarily a pudding fan in pudding form, but if it smells like pudding, I'm putting it into my mouth. That's for sure. Every time. A little bit of cinnamon bread, maybe some rice pudding on there as well, like a cinnamon rice pudding. I love rice pudding, by the way. Cinnamon rice pudding's the best. A very sweet and delightful nose. Let's go in for a taste. Batch 110 down the hatch. Ooh. Wow, that's big. Wow. The light whiskey and the bourbon that are blended in to that rye are really like bringing out characteristics of that rye that you typically wouldn't get. Either they're bringing out the characteristics of the rye or they're adding like another layer or another dimension to that 95.5. That traditional 95.5 rye is presenting you with an explosion of that profile, but as it works its way to the back of the palate, it's like evening out and like smoothing over and then creating a creaminess of almost like that pudding-like quality that you got on the nose is expressing itself like magnificently on the palate. It's like buttering your tongue. It's buttering your tongue with a layer of goodness. It's a friggin' flavor bomb. That is a power bomb. That is a rye friggin' power bomb. Like when you put on boxing gloves for the first time and try to beat up the kid that's smaller than you. And then you realize that he's way faster than you. And you can't blink without getting punched. It's a bit of a surprise, but in a good way, because you'd never realized you were such a wuss till Jason Burnett touched you up a little bit. You know what I mean? Surprisingly creamy and surprisingly like well-rounded towards the back of the palate. Up front, it's a boom. But as it works its way back, it just evens out so well. Some of the Barrel King American Whiskey Knighted labels are like much more bourbon forward. Some of them are much more light whiskey forward. Some of them are like, you know, a mishmash of things that you don't know which direction they're taking. This one I will definitely say is rye forward. So if you're a rye fan, if you love a good Barrel King rye, this is for you. June, another month where both bottles for Barrel King Gold members are tremendous. I love them both, and I'm super excited for you all to get your little paws on them, try them, and be blown away. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to become a Barrel King Gold member, click on the link in the description below. Become a Barrel King Gold member, you won't be disappointed, I promise. And if I break that promise and you are disappointed, I'm super sorry. You can cancel at any time, it's not a big deal. Love you all, see you in the next video. Double platinums!